Good morning, everybody.
Buenos días.
All right, we always start with our brain. Let's see if I can point to it without. There you go. Brain smart start. All right, here we go. There is something fun we can do when we meet. Some are silly, some are proper. We should greet.
Stand up tall, find a friend, and stick out your right hand. Firmly shake and look
them in the eye. Turn your head from side to side. Give a silly
proper side with high.
good morning. Buenos dias. What's up? It's a great day. I'm thankful to be with you. Good morning. Buenos dias. What's up? I'm happy to feel this way. Feel this way. Feel this way. There is something fun we can do when we meet. Some are silly, some are proper. We should greet.
Close your hand with your knuckles facing at a friend.
There's my friends.
How you both have knuckles as you smile.
Give me nuts.
Turn your
Head from side to side. Give a silly, almost
proper side with high.
hi. Good morning. Buenos dias. What's up? It's a great day. I'm thankful to be with you. Good morning. Buenos dias. What's up? I'm happy to feel this way. Feel this way. Feel this way. All right. Let's do our I love you ritual, which is there next. Shows you. That's our schedule. It shows us what we do. You guys remember that, right? So we have brain smart start, and then we have our loving ritual. And it is 3 nice mice. So show me 3. 3 nice mice. 3 nice mice. See how they care. See how they care. They hold both hands and give a shake. Smiling together, good friends they make. Turning around, for goodness sakes. 3 nice mice. 3 nice mice. How do you be a nice mice? How do you be a good friend? That's something to think about. You can, what are some examples? You could share your toys.
You can draw someone a beautiful picture.
Draw somebody a picture. Yep, that always makes me feel good when people draw me pictures. Yeah. Maybe even just giving a smile sometimes, right? Or a wave can help people. We have a story today about a scientist, Ada Twist Scientist. Remember when we read the one about the engineer? This one is called Ada Twist the Scientist. All right, and let's see. I think that might be her. Let's see here. Oh, there's a cat in the book. It's by Andrea Beatty and David Roberts. He's the one who drew the pictures, the illustrator. Ada Marie said not a word till the day she turned 3. She bounced in her crib and looked all around, observing the world, but not making a sound. Let me turn the light on. That might be better. There we go. She learned how to climb and made her big break with a trail of chaos left in her wake. She ran through the day chasing each sound and sight and didn't slow down until she conked out at night. That means until she fell asleep. Look, she even fell asleep on top of a dresser. That is silly. And she's got the rainbow and a sun and a moon. And what's in her hand? A star. Her parents were frazzled, but tried not to freak as Ada grew bigger and still did not speak. Clearly, young Ada, with lots in her head, would have something to say when it ought to be said. That's just what happened when Ada turned 3. She tore through the house on a fact-finding spree. and climbed up the clock just as high as she could. Her parents yelled, "Stop!" as all good parents would. Look at their worried faces. Ada's chin, where's your chin? Yep, right there. Quivered, but she did not cry. She took a deep breath. Maybe she was practicing, maybe she went to a preschool who practiced breathing like us. She took a deep breath and simply asked, "Why?" Why does it tick and why does it talk? And why don't we call it a granddaughter clock? Why are there pointy things stuck to a rose? Why are the hairs up inside your nose? She started with a why and then a what, how, and when. By bedtime, she always came back to why once again. She drifted to sleep as her dazed parents smiled at the curious thoughts of their curious child, who wanted to know what the world was about. They kissed her and whispered, "You'll figure it out." Right? Look at, she's asking all these questions. Why is that plant growing? Why does the elephant have a nose? How does the light bulb work? When does this magnet pick up those? Wait, she's got a paper clip. Why, what, how, when, why? Her parents kept up with their high-flying kid. And then she's asking all these questions. What if? Will it be the same? Why won't it? How can I find out? Why does it? How? How does it? Can I? How soon can I? Whose questions and chaos both grew as she did. Do you know what she's drawing pictures of? Do you see? Those are the planets. You ever look up at the sky, at the night sky? Sometimes you can see the planets. They look like really, really bright stars. Even Miss Gear, she's the teacher in the last book too, found her hands were quite full when young Ada's chaos wreaked havoc at school. But this much was clear about Miss Ada Twist. She had all the traits of a great scientist. Ada was busy that first day of spring, testing the sounds that mockingbirds sing, when a horrible stench whacked her right in the nose. A stench is a bad smell. A pungent, that is another word for strong. A pungent aroma, another word for smell, that curled up her toes. "Zowie," said Ada, which got her thinking. What is the source of that terrible stinking? How does a nose know there's something to smell? And does it still stink if there's no nose to tell? She rattled off questions and tapped on her chin like you do. She start at the start where she ought to begin. A mystery, a riddle, a puzzle, a quest. It was the moment Ada loved best. Ada did research to learn all she could of smelling and smells, both stinky and good. One hypothesis Ada thought could be true. The terrible stink came from Dad's cabbage stew. She tested and tested, but soon Ada knew it was time to come up with hypothesis 2. So she thought it was Dad's cabbage soup, and she's like, I don't know. I don't think that's the same smell. So where is that smell coming from? Then Zowie the stink struck again, and just like that, hypothesis 2, caused by the cat. The cat couldn't make such a stink on its own. It needed perfume and some fancy cologne. So young Ada tested. The test was a flop. She started again, but her parents yelled, "Stop!" What was she doing? She putting her cat in the dryer or the washing machine? Is that a good idea? Never, ever, ever do that. That would hurt the cat. Ada Marie, to the thinking chair now by the time we count 3. Enough, said her mother. That's it, said her dad. Her parents were frustrated, frazzled, and mad. Look at their angry faces. They are mad. Why? Ada questioned. Her mother said, no. What? Ada queried. Her father said, go. You've ruined our supper. You've made the cat stink. Enough with your questions. Now sit there and think. She looked at her parents. Her heart turned to goo. Poor Ada Twist didn't know what to do. How does she look? How do you think she's feeling? It's kind of sad, right? There she is in the thinking chair. She sat all alone by herself in the hall, and Ada once more could say nothing at all. And so Ada sat, and she sat, and she sat, and she thought about science and Stu and the cat, and how her experiments made such a big mess. Does it have to be so? Is that last part of success? Are messes a problem? And while she was thinking, what was the source of that terrible stinking? Ada Marie did what scientists do. She asked a small question, and then she asked two. And each of those led her to 3 questions more, and some of those questions resulted in 4. As Ada got thinking, she really dug in. She scribbled her questions and tapped on her chin. And then she started at why, and then what, and how, and when. And at the end of the hall, she reached why once again. Her parents calmed down, and they came back to talk. They looked at the hallway and just had to gawk. Gawk is when you like stare like, oh, like that. No patch of bare paint could be seen on the wall. The thinking chair was now the great thinking hall. They watched their young daughter and sighed as they did. What would they do with this curious kid who wanted to know what the world was about? They smiled and whispered, "You'll figure it out." And that's what they did, because that's what you do when your kid has a passion and a heart that is true. They remade their world, and now they're all in the act of helping young Ada sort fiction from fact. She asked lots of questions. How could she resist? It's all in the heart of a young scientist. So they made it safer for her, although I don't know about that latter. They made it safer for her to think, right? They let her experiment. And as for that smell, what Ada Twist do but learn all she can from her friends in grade 2? Will they discover the stink that curls toes? Well, that's a question, and someday, who knows? The end. She was a scientist, and scientists asked lots of questions. So never, ever, 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 ever be afraid to ask lots of questions, because that just means you're thinking.
Questions are great.
All right, friends, we will see you later. Let's sing. See you later. See you later. See you later when we meet again. Adios.